See, why a note on cultural immunity? So COVID-19 cultural immunity, when I say it may seem to be negative. Because why should we have to develop a cultural immunity? A new culture needs to be deployed, perhaps, in a scenario where we accept the reality that COVID is going to sustain. Perhaps that itself may be negative. Now, the cases has raised to 1.75 lakhs. Almost everyone across the world has accept that, we have to sustain with COVID. Almost everyone. So that is why building cultural immunity to COVID-19 has become a very important scenario. So we have an organization culture in which we have to deploy a cultural immunity among our employees. No other way, because this is going to sustain minimum for 1 year and on an average for 3 years. Minimum for 1 year. We already seen that. In that situation, how we are going to develop mental toughness? So what is mental toughness? Tough. You are tough and I am tough. Now basically, mental toughness is perceived in a context where we are immune as self, as an individual self, you are immune from an external situational variable. So there is something externally happening in your life, but your emotions, your sentiments, your thought process, your behavior remains same. It is not a dependent variable of your external situation. And this is the concept of immunity or mental toughness. Well, you are free from negative emotions. You are free from negative thoughts. And you are centered within, not outside. This is the freedom. See, when there is an occurrence outside and your emotion changes with respect to that, you are a slave of that. You are not free. On the contrary, when my emotion and my thought process is, when it is being centered within, not outside an external variable, it is you're free. So you have mental toughness. You would have seen many people going through much ups and downs, but still they are strong. Well, in that context, we are all ready to face the reality and to perform the actions. So dharma, sandham dharmam, swadharma, perform our actions without worrying about the result. So this is mental toughness. Whether you are an accountant or whether you are a salesperson, we are not worried about the results. We are cautious but not negative. We are performing our action. We don't have negativity. So if that is the case, you are a mentally tough person. I am a mentally tough person. So how we can build a culture of mental toughness in our organizations? There are basically 7 perspectives how to build mental toughness. The first perspective is called as detachment perspective. There's a questionnaire given to you. If you answer the questionnaire, you'll get how far you are attached with respect to an external variable, where you stand on that. So a questionnaire has been given to you. If you have it on your right hand side, the questionnaire is there with you. I will give you 1 minute to just go through that. And if you have any queries related to that, you may ask.
I'm just unmuting all the participants so they can answer, or else they can answer in their chat box. The person who like to ask the question can either raise their hand so that I'll unmute them individually, or else can come in the chat box, because there is a lot of echo and disturbance coming in.
Yeah. A questionnaire has been given to you. I hope you would have identified the questionnaire first. Now that questionnaire is an inventory with psychometric property related to Diagnostic and Statistical Manual 5. So it's a manual for mental disorders. You can measure the anxiety level of individuals, including yours, and there are certain scores where you need to be taken care of. So how to answer the questionnaire has also been given to you. How to answer the questionnaire, the scoring sheets. So that
Sir, is it scarcity mentality questionnaire question?
no. You have to take you have to take activity 1. There is a PDF file called as one activity 1. That is first thing you have to take. One activity 1. One activity 1. That is the questionnaire.
Oh, one activity.
Name of the PDF file is one activity 1.
Okay.
Okay. Now how to answer it has been given as a second attachment, that is tutor or activity 1. That is the activity or tutor guidance scoring framework. How to score the has also been given to you. Yeah, scoring activity or tutor guidance scoring framework also has been given to you. Now, how to analyze the questionnaire has not been given because that needs some, a level of competence. So either you need to complete your master's in clinical psychology. So I have not at all shared that with you. So what you may do is, if you have a trained person over there, or I can train your people, or it requires only 10 to 15 minutes. And if you want to distribute the questionnaire across your company to measure the anxiety levels and challenges, that is possible. So once you do that, certain scores below certain particular levels are little damaging. So that such people need to be taken care of, and you need to provide mental support to them. Hope you could identify those two those two PDF files. The first one, activity 1, then the scoring sheet also. So we cannot do it now. It requires 15 minutes to answer the questionnaire, but you can practice it in your company. The second one is how we take care of the mental toughness is, once okay. So we have with respect to the external variables. Maybe it may be a job loss, or it may be death, or an emotional pain, or a mental pain, or a pandemic. Something comes to you. There is self within you, a true self, authentic self, not projected self. I am talking about authentic self is within you. Now, whether that self is attached to death, then you will have pain. Whether that self is attached to job loss, then you will have emotional as well as mental pain. Physical pain is the final thing that I am not discussing now. Now, once the self is attached to the pandemic, the job loss, the death, and there is a process happening, there you are bound to have emotional and mental pain. Then you have attachment, and we can consciously detach from it. So this is the concept. How we do that? First, we have to identify whether I have attachment or not. That is why the exercise has been given to you. Second thing is, we have to inculcate a culture of non-duality perspective or a gestalt perspective. Non-duality is a thought process that evolved in Indian context, and from a German perspective, it is called as gestalt, the whole. Non-duality, dual means two, Vaida. Non-dual means one. So the concept here is, any experience is non-dual at an experiential level. I am not talking about the emotional level or mental level. അനുഭവത്തിന്റെ തലത്തിൽ, at an experience level, experience can only happen in the present, in this moment. And that experience is as a whole. It is neither bad or good. See, look at the situation. Once, look at the situation here. Two cases. They are eating fish. One lady is eating fish with a lot of happiness. She is very happy. And the same gentleman who wants to eat fish is not at all happy. So the experience of eating fish is in front of us is one. But we have a problem. One person perceives it as a negative, another person perceives it as a positive. This is non-duality. This is duality. Considering dividing the experience into negative and positive is called as reality, dual perspective. But in reality, it is one. Towards the same experience, one person is exposed, but both are having different feelings, different emotions towards it. Why so? It means eye of the beholder. Your emotion or your thought process is depending on your certain characteristics that we will discuss towards the end. So experience is not having any problem. Experience of eating fish is not having any problem. It doesn't have any problem. The problem lies within us, the individual. Then let us consider praying. One lady is praying with a lot of, submission and happily. On the other side, another gentleman is praying. They are playing while praying. Why? They are not focused in prayer. They are not at all attentive. They are not at all contemplative. So it is not the prayer that is creating a challenge. Prayer is an experience. Praying is an experience in front of us that is not real. But something makes it real. What it is, we look into that. Now let's take about learning. One lady is learning with a lot of enthusiasm, but another learning happens. She's bored. She's not at all interested in learning, and she's sleeping. And if learning is an experience, just think about the case. In a class, if you deliver a class among the 50 students, almost 45 or 47 or even 40 maybe engaged in the class, but another 10% is not at all engaged. Why? Experience in front of them remains same. So problem is not with the experience in front of us, because that experience only happens in the now. Reality of experience can only happen in the now. If you can pinch now, just pinch. This is experience in the now. Now it is gone. Now try to pinch. Oh, you may remove your hand because it has pained. That is only future. Because you are relating yourself with the past. Suddenly when your hand is moving to pinch your other hand, you are trying to remove it. Why? You are projecting your past memory with respect to the future. So the reality can only happen in the present, and that is experience. Experience is the only reality. Experience is the only perceived reality, perceived through our 5 senses. Now think about work. One lady is not at all engaged at work, another lady is fully engaged and happy. So it is not work gives you a problem or a challenge. It is something different. That we will explain towards the end. So any experience that happens in the now, other than tremendous physical pain, is non-real. Even physical pain becomes other than physical pain is dual, but physical pain you need not allow your hand to be chopped off. You may remove. You have a choice. That we consider later. So once we consider any experience, including birth, see, one lady and her husband came to me. One lady and husband came to me for a therapy session, and they were at the verge of a divorce. I asked, what is happening? What is the problem? The lady told, sir, we are at the verge of a divorce. Why? We scanned and we found that it's a girl child. I want to deliver the girl child, but my husband, he want to abort it. So birth is an experience in front of the person. Birth is an experience. But one person is having a positive feeling, another person is having a negative feeling. Please understand. Similarly, death. There are many cases where death is too much painful for us, but there are n number of cases where death is also very much. The death provides happiness to people. Think about Think about the world history. How many sons has killed their parents just to acquire power? So what was their intent? Take Indian situation as well as world situation. Many of the next generation, future kings, they have killed their own parents and dethroned them and got into. So I'll explain a situation where how death becomes very much. It happened in my case where one of my neighbor, he was a gentleman around 87 years of old, and he was suffering with cancer. His son came to me. You think about my father, how many years he is suffering for past 2-3 years. Yeah, he has to do toilet and in his own bed, and he always needs support. This cancer is so much painful. May God allow him to get a good death. He's going through a lot of suffering. So think about it. Now, he's a good son. He loves his father, but he's not able to find that his father, is going through severe pain for a long time. So he prayed for good death. So it is not death provides you pain, or it is not that provides you happiness. It is the meaning that you provide death that provides you happiness. In many situations, many are happy with the death of other people. Please understand. So death is not the problem. Rather, death is not the problem. Rather, your thought process, the meaning that you provide, that is, giving a So let us consider what is the process. See, any action do have a precedent called as thoughts or cognitions. Precedent to that there is an emotion, and even precedent to that there is a sensation. Please understand. So any behavior that we demonstrate or produce at a behavioral level, you have a thought process behind it. What is the meaning of cognition? How you find a meaning to that particular thought, that behavior. How do you analyze it? How you receive it? How you interpret it? How you critically, creatively judge it? And you find a meaning about it. And this is a thought process. Depending on that, there may be you have a different type of feelings based on happiness, sad, fear, and anger. That are the four basic emotions, and along with the surprise and disgust. You may be a salesperson who are continually standing in a shop floor, and that is a sensation that you have pain is there, body pain is there. Based on that, you have emotion. Based on that, you have a thought. Based on that, you have an anchor. Similarly, any engagement model, if people are engaging in your company, do have the same relationship between your sensation, your emotion, your thought process, followed by your emotion, and your behavior. So we need to be aware of the concept of non-duality in your experiences. Point number one is experience happens only in the now. Past minute or past second is not your experience. It is your relationship with your past. That is relation. Future minute is only your projection. What may happen in future. So either we are relating to the past and we are identifying pain. We carry the pain with us. We are not able to forget and forgive, and that is the principle behind detachment. So we relate our past experiences of pain to our present. Since we are not able to forget and forgive, we are not able to detach. We carry those pain with us and go through pain in the present. So that is the principle behind detachment. Well, point number one. Similarly, we unconsciously project our present to future. Okay, we may not be able to achieve our sales. Then what may happen? I may be getting a pay cut. Then what may happen? That is all not reality. That is only your projection. Okay, now project the present to future. Again, you are not in the experience, either you are not in thought process or in your emotions. Now, you are not in the present. I'm talking about if you want to be in the present, what we need to do is detach your relationship with the past and detach your projection from your future and focus on the experience. In that context, it is not two, rather it is one, it is non-dual. Now, someone is going to hit your hand or chop your hand with using something, then your experience, if you can accept that also, or you can remove that also. Now you have to think for yourself, why should you, is there any purpose of going through pain unnecessary or not? So only from that physical pain context, okay, it may be your choice to make your experience into reality too. You remove your hand so that your hand is not getting chopped. So from a absolute reality perspective, this is a transactional reality perspective. Absolute reality perspective, related, if you are in the present, you will be calm and cool. That is why while at prayer, you are in the present. You are able to, you are rooted and centered Either with the Bhagavan you pray, or in your heartbeat, breath, or in your heartbeat. You're centered, you're relaxed, you're at peace. You are in the present. While praying, you are in the present. So please understand, this is one aspect of developing mental toughness through second perspective. First is detachment, second is non-duality. And the third perspective is principle-centered perspective. What is principle or a value? There is always a value that is higher in this universe. There is always a value that is higher in this universe. Well, you may say, in a natural context, you may say that a lion is going and killing a deer, or a big fish is going and eating a small fish. What is equity over there? This is called as Mimamsa principle in Indian legal thought. Okay, but we follow as a human species, only as a human species, we follow equity and justice. That is the very basic purpose of law. Law of equitable justice, put forward by Amartya Sen. So you have to provide equity to those people that are in high need. This is, basic principle of law of equitable justice. So a vaccine needs to be provided to those people who are there in the hotspots, red zone areas. Then you implement the law of equitable justice. In nature, there is no equity. That is why a big fish is going and eating a small fish. So where there is only survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest, just related with something else. Survival of the brightest, fastest, strongest, highest male. So there is always a value from a human cognition side. From a human perspective, something called as love, that everyone in the world values it. Equity, everyone in this world values it. Everyone in this world values it. Now, once you're able to raise yourself to a higher value, this is a cognitive skill. You are at peace. Huh? Are you able to hear? Do you hear now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So if we are able to raise ourselves to higher value, so let us say Mahatma Gandhi, when we fought for freedom, when we fought against the British people, they came with a lot of army and ammunition and killed our people, but we raised ourselves to higher value called as ahimsa. Three principles. What are they? Ahimsa, then non-cooperation, and non. So that is how we can raise ourselves to higher value, and we will be at peace. When a gentleman is going and performing something much noble for a noble cause, he come out of the needs of the body, basic needs of the body. Well, so even during Satyagraha, he avoid food. He don't eat for a long time, but still, he is at peace. That is how we can raise oneself to a higher value. So if we are able to raise ourselves, we will be happy and we will be at peace. We will be mentally comfortable. Then the above three, detachment and raising oneself to a higher value, those are cognitive skills. Now we already discussed about the third option is how to change the cognition at will. Finding a meaning consciously, and you are giving a different meaning to the same cause. We already discussed it. When one person came to me or came to a therapist for a counseling session where he lost his son, counselor asked, when he came to you at the age of 30 after marriage, where he was before. Maybe God gave you or nature provided you, you became the part of the cycle of nature. You don't own him. Again, integrating it with the detachment. You have been a custodian. It came to you and it has been taken from you. If you are able to change the cognition at will, is your choice. This can be done only with only for people with who has enhanced their cognitive capabilities. People who follow the path of knowledge can do it. There is another path called as path of submission or path of surrender. Now, I am not able to do that. I am submitting and surrendering myself to the deity that I would believe in. Because my cognition has not developed. I am not an educated guy. I don't have a free will. I am a poor man. I am an auto driver. I lack education. Nothing I have. So, I leave everything to the deity, the God I believe in. And I am at peace. And please understand, next option is you can do the same while rooting and centering yourself to the self. What is this? Is a higher level capability. You have an authentic and true self, and you are relating your true self with either with faith or experiential. Experiential in the sense that you are once there are the different philosophies to it. Once you focus on a proverb, or when you focus your awareness on your breath, you can root yourself to the breath that is going in and out, going out. So you are rooting yourself at an experiential level. Again, you can root yourself being self-referral with the deity that you believe in, and you root yourself to him, and being centered yourself with him, and you are not attached to the outside variable. So with faith or as well as experientially by doing a exercise, or you can say a proverb, Rama, 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 and you can root yourself, it's called as Nirantara Smarana. Again, you can root yourself to that proverb and center yourself to that. And there is another perspective called as witnessing yourself. That is the very tough thing, that you don't attach yourself individually. You go out of your own, go as a third party. As you are watching a film, you watch yourself, you are going through pain. You observe yourself from a third party perspective, neither first party or second party. First party is you are attached. Second party is you have a person in front of you, he is criticizing you, you have a social self projection. That is second party. Third party, it is not neither you nor the social projection. You are observing yourself as an observer. It's called as being an observer and being observed. That also require a practice, and that is the toughest thing, that once we go through that of being observed and an observer role, we aware of our pain, we understand our pain, we realize our pain, and we slowly get purified stage by stage. This is witnessing. Who is observing you? You yourself go to, and he is observing. So that is the witnessing perspective. And then there's a third perspective, that is action-oriented perspective, that is for the clinically depressed people. If you are clinically depressed, you will not get out of your bed. You will lay. There are cycles to it. Okay. Now you may lay for five in a day, 3 hours you may be depressed. After 8 hours you may get up. Maybe the cycles may be 3 days. You may get depressed for 3 days, and after 3 days only you come out of bed. Now what you can do, you have to activate your prefrontal cortex. Now whenever you get up early in the morning, there is possibility that you will remain in the bed, you will not get up. So how you will activate your prefrontal? So while getting up early in the morning, first thing is you have to keep your alarm away, not near to your bed, so that you will turn it off. Then you have to take a call. Tell 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse order you have to count, not in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but reverse order. 5, 4, 3, 1. Then suddenly the reverse process will activate your prefrontal. Then jump up. Then start acting. Don't go through the thinking process again. Obsession and compulsion comes from thinking. You're obsessive and compulsive. You keep on thinking, you keep on thinking, but rather you don't act. Simple techniques. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start acting. If you are in a depressive cycle, you can enhance mental toughness, and you can also ask your employees if they are going through mental toughness stages or mentally weak stages, let them practice it and come out of that.